Hi everyone, welcome back. Anthony Allen, your mortgage broker, continuing the first home buyer series. Now, we're getting towards the back end of the series now, so hopefully you've seen the benefit and you've gleaned some more knowledge from the series. If you've certainly managed to get this far, then I would imagine you have. Now, a couple of things that probably you should be considering is why engage a broker versus a bank? Well, hopefully, if you've come this far, then you're seeing that at the end of the day, there are so many differences between lenders that it's like trying to pick a needle in a haystack if you're going to go with the lender or the bank that you've been with as a kid, or that you first joined with when you hit these shores. And look, given the criteria differences, then the last thing you want to be hit with is a decline, and then have to go and find another bank and explain why you were declined to the previous bank. You also are probably going to struggle to make sure that you get the most competitive product, or that it's going to suit your short-term and your long-term goals. And even if you look on the internet and find the ones with the cheapest rate, then to be honest, you're probably not going to know how much the loan mortgage insurance is going to cost you. And I've already shown you that could be a massive factor in all of this. You also don't know of any other incentives. Some of the lenders may be paying for your conveyancer or giving you a cash back or whatever else. And there's generally some under-the-counter deals as well that the public don't know about. Finally, after the Royal Commission, there was some government legislation, and there have been quite a few changes. So BID has been introduced, and that is best interest duty. Now, there's absolutely no way that this applies to banks, and it actually doesn't apply to banks, it's only to brokers. Best interest duty can't apply to a bank simply because it'd be nonsensical that they have your best interest in mind, because all they can offer you are their products. Whereas I've already shown you probably in one of the videos the number of lenders that I've got 30 odd lenders that I can go to, and basically once we've discussed your situation and once we've looked at what your short-term and your long-term goals are, then I'm going to offer you a solution that's going to meet those strategies. And as I've mentioned earlier, it's not all about interest rate. It's about what your final payment's going to make. So, interest rate is going to matter. Loan mortgage insurance premium is going to matter. Legal fees are going to matter. Valuation fees are going to matter. All the different fees are going to matter. So, yeah, all of the numbers, it's going to be the end column. What are you finally going to pay? Additionally, I'm going to sort of hold your hand as well as much as I possibly can. I'm going to send you a list of documents that you're going to need to provide to support your application, and I'll make that as easy as possible. I mean, I'm linked with bankstatements.com.au. You bank with ANZ or whatever else, then you can just press a link, and basically that will spit out the bank statements that we need, and it'll send them directly to me. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. And finally, it's a case of what other professionals do you need to make this process as easy as possible? So you're definitely gonna need a conveyancer. I can help you there. As I've said in an earlier video, the last thing you want to do is going to a conveyancer and getting their services based on price, because if you find yourself in trouble, or if the conveyancer hasn't done their job correctly, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more money, and you'll only find out that you need a good conveyancer. You'll only find out you've got a bad conveyancer when you need them. Sorry, and by that time it's too late. You're going to need, probably going to need a building inspector or a building and pest inspector, and I can sort of point you in the direction there. I would also recommend that you consider talking to a financial planner if you haven't already. Although it's not mandatory to have TPD, life insurance, and the like, I really think, especially if you're buying with a family, that you look at what your options are and you look at all the costs. At least then you make an informed decision rather than sticking your head in the sand or think, oh, I'm going to do it later, but tomorrow never comes, and then something happens and you find yourself really wishing you had. That'll be more pertinent if you've got a family and you've got one of the applicants are sort of on a big wage and they're predominantly the highest money earner. I mean, if something happens to them, then how are you going to pay for your loan and what are you going to do? And finally, you may need the services of a good accountant. I can certainly point you that way. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, all of these different professionals I've got links with. I'm going to try and look after you and hold your hand. And hopefully this is a relationship that's not just for here and now. I want partnerships for the next 20 years. Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to help you buy your next property. I also want to be able to make sure that in a year's time that your interest rates are competitive. I want to make sure that we're refinancing you and letting you know that that there are other products available, or making sure that the bank that you're actually with, stays on the right road and they offer you the right interest rate. So yeah, look, there are a lot of things that I can help you with, and hopefully this is a relationship that's going to progress. Speak to you soon. Good luck.